thank you, and I want to thank also ESMO organization for inviting me. I think that there is an initial question. Paolo said that the rare cancer is a multidisciplinary problem. And we have first to wonder if all the stakeholders feel sufficient sense of urgency to answer what Katie was asked. He said, every morning we wake up asking, are we doing whatever is possible to find solutions for rare cancer? And which could be the role of a pharmaceutical industry in this case? First, I think to start to select compounds very early. You have heard about Dr. Yao alluded to one of the compounds of my company. These compounds start to be adopted for breast cancer, for renal cancer, but enlarge immediately to other cancer which are more rare, like neck cancer, or super rare, like tuberous sclerosis. And I think that this is one of the obligations for pharmaceutical company not to direct their development only to the big cancer, but to start from the very beginning, to think if there are common pathways in rare cancer. Of course, this needs the help of the health authorities too, and to understand exactly how we can fix some common denominator of efficacy in this rare cancer that sometimes are difficult to study. And this brings to a second important point. Clinical trials are becoming more and more and more complex to run in. There are a lot of bureaucratic hurdles and costs that prevent clinical trials to be cost-effective and quick. So probably is the moment that we start to revise our methodology and our organization. And I'm happy to say that we start a couple of years ago with ESMO to look at different kind of clinical approach and methodological approach to look for this cancer. Probably some of you have seen the front page of the New York Times, I think it was 3 weeks ago, where a couple of cousins affected by the same disease, cancer, melanoma, finish in the two arms of the trial, one in the effective drug and the other one in the placebo, in spite of the fact that the drug has been already shown to be effective in this disease. I think that this case that came out in the front page bring back to the limit of some of our methodology, bring back to the fact that with the health authorities, we need to establish new way to evaluate the drug development and to fix new standard that move the drug quicker into the market. Of course, some people could say, which is the interest of moving drugs quicker if we have problem of access? Again, this is the moment that we open new dialogue between the different stakeholders. If we are able to reduce the cost of development, of course, we'll be able to arrive faster, but probably cheaper. And on the other side, for the health authorities and industry to find new flexible way to identify the pricing of drugs. Of course, this point of rare cancer has some other important point, and I will move quickly to that. So we had the experience, and I could say in this case probably the brand name of the drug, because it's so well-known, Gleevec, that I don't think is considered promotion in this case. It was important because the first case we identify really the mechanism of a cancer, CML. And thanks to that, we learn how to interfere to the progression of this cancer. Of course, this cancer has some specificity. It's relatively simple. It's in the majority of the case managed and caused by a single mutation. But thanks to that, we were able to interfere to overall survival. I could say now that the mortality rate of a patient with CML is lower than the mortality of a patient with diabetes with cardiovascular complication. But this suggests something, that if we are able, thanks to rare cancer, to identify this kind of specific alteration, we can interfere. And you know, we had another case which is also interesting, and Paolo Casali alluded to his experience in GIST. I think that GIST are also relatively simple. I hope that you accept this comment from a non-expert. And we have the possibility, again, to interfere to the progression of the disease. So this means that rare cancer not only are an urgency for these patients who are suffering from this terrible disease, but they offer also the possibility for us to better understand some mechanisms of cancer, other big cancer. And as I was alluded before, this big cancer probably will become small cancer, rare cancer, because we will target exactly the mutation and the pathways that are involved. So for finishing, I think that the development of rare cancer is something that we need to address quick and effective and timely, as people say. First, because we have not to accept that any patient will suffer from rare cancer without having a major effort from our side. But on the other side, to learn more how to also address this cancer in a way that, as Kathy said in the evening, we could arrive with a magic pill for this treatment. Thank you very much.